Welcome to This Week in Palm Bay for the week of May 18th through the 24th.
Good to be here on the couch. Heavy week to open on, so let's get right into it.
We start with a loss felt across the whole Space Coast. Former Representative Bill Posey died Saturday, May 9th, in Melbourne. He was 78. Word of his passing came the next morning. He died surrounded by the love of his family.
And to understand who Palm Bay lost, you have to go back before the politics. Posey worked at Kennedy Space Center during the Apollo program, McDonnell Douglas. He was on the floor for the missions that put this coast on the map. And then he got laid off, like a lot of space workers did.
He spent more than 4 decades in Florida public service after that. Rockledge City Council in the 70s, the Florida House, the Florida Senate, then 16 years in the U.S. House, representing Palm Bay and all of Brevard County until he retired in January of last year.
He kept a district office right here in Palm Bay the whole time. He sat on the House Science, Space, and Technology Committee, which for a town wired into the Space Coast economy is not a small thing. He was the aerospace appropriations vote that didn't have to be coaxed.
A note on what we are not reporting. No cause of death has been released by the family. No memorial or service arrangements have been announced, and there is no Posey-specific half-staff order. We will not speculate on any of it. When those details come, we will report them.
He is survived by his wife Katie, married since 1967, and his daughters Kathy and Pamela.
From there to the council chamber. Thursday, May 21st, the regular council meeting, and the item with the most friction on it is a gas station.
A gas station that the city's own planning board already said no to, unanimously.
Resolution 2026-08, a conditional use request for a fuel station and convenience store with a drive-through restaurant at the northwest corner of Emerson Drive and Glen Cove Avenue. The applicant is Ganesh of Titusville, LLC. On May 6th, the Planning and Zoning Board recommended denial, 7-0.
7-0 is not a close call. The board cited the conditional use standard, the part of the code about nuisance and hazard. Their concern was the vehicle traffic, the fuel delivery traffic, the noise, the fumes. So here's the question for Thursday. Council can override a unanimous board recommendation in a quasi-judicial hearing. They are allowed to. The question is whether they will, and what the record looks like if they do.
Council hears it May 21st. We publish before that vote, so this is the setup, not the outcome. Watch the vote count against that 7-0 denial.
That is the kind of item where the board did a public a favor by being on the record. It puts the weight on council to explain itself either way.
Now a development the courthouse produced that nobody had reported yet. A grand jury has indicted George Herman Mancia, 52, of Palm Bay, on 9 counts. Count 1 is first-degree premeditated murder, a capital felony. The offense date is March 12, 2025.
This is the case our own prior reporting flagged a hole in. When we wrote about Mancia before, we said plainly that a homicide charge had not been filed as of publication. That sentence is now out of date. It has been filed.
Count 2 is tampering with evidence in a capital felony. The remaining 7 counts are identity and credit card fraud using the identity of the deceased victim. The case number is 05-2026-CF-027321. Judge Crawford. The next docket sounding is June 4th.
We are reporting the charges and the court record. We are not reporting anything beyond what is in the public file.
That brings us to the other May 21st item, and this one is routine, so we'll keep it short.
The cannabis dispensary ban. Ordinance 2026-13 comes up for its final reading Thursday. It would prohibit medical marijuana dispensing facilities inside city limits. Deputy Mayor Jaffe is the sponsor. The planning board backed it 6-1. 4 existing dispensaries are grandfathered in and can keep operating.
One thing worth keeping in the frame, state law, Florida Statute 381.986, preempts a lot of how cities can regulate this, so a citywide ban is the kind of move that carries a preemption question with it. Final reading is Thursday. That's the vote that matters.
Now the rest of the week, quickly.
County money first. The Board of County Commissioners meets Tuesday, May 19th, and on the agenda is the Save Our Indian Lagoon half-cent sales tax. The renewal would go on the November 3rd ballot.
Palm Bay sits inside that taxing area. Those dollars fund septic to sewer conversions and stormwater work here. The program sunsets this year if it is not renewed. A Palm Bay workshop on it in January drew more than 70 residents.
One caveat, whether Tuesday's action is a first reading or a final adoption is not yet confirmed in what we can see, so the Commission is expected to take it up Tuesday and will pin down exactly what stage it's at once that's clear.
Roads next, and this one is reader service. FDOT is closing the northbound I-95 on-ramp from Malabar Road overnight, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sunday, May 17th through Thursday, May 21st, reopening Friday morning.
So if you're heading late north, the detour is northbound Babcock to Palm Bay Road to northbound I-95. There are also intermittent westbound Malabar Road closures the same nights. It's part of the larger $63 million I-95 resurfacing. Plan the late drive around it.
A live billing problem residents should know about. Palm Bay Utilities has a technical issue affecting electronic bill delivery. Paperless customers are seeing delayed invoices and inaccurate balances. AutoPay customers are being told to contact customer service.
That number is 321-952-3420. If you're on paperless or autopay, check your account because an inaccurate balance plus an automatic payment is exactly the combination you want to catch early. This was still unresolved as of this weekend.
Governance. The Charter Review Commission presents 8 proposed charter amendments Thursday and a vote on dissolving the commission itself. The headline change is an overhaul of how council vacancies get filled. Approved amendments would head to the November ballot with a reported election cost around $10,000.
That figure is reported, not yet packet confirmed, so treat the $10,000 as approximate. This is the presentation stage. Any ordinance would not come until July.
Graduations. Bayside High is Thursday, May 21st at 6 p.m. Heritage High is Friday, May 22nd at 7 p.m. Palm Bay Magnet is Saturday, May 23rd at 9 a.m. The last day of school is Friday, May 22nd. And on the consent agenda Thursday, 2 public money items to flag. A reported $845,721 for signalization at Emerson Drive and St. John's Heritage Parkway from transportation impact fees, and a reported $75,000 for a fire rescue assessment study.
Both of those figures come from a meeting memo, not the extracted packet, so we're reporting them as reported. The fire study is the early step toward a possible new fire assessment on residents down the road. Also Thursday, Utilities Director Bowden gives a verbal update on the South Regional Water Reclamation Facility. No figures are pre-filed, so we are waiting on what he says in the room.
On the development side, a quick mention. The Malabar Road Wawa site plan cleared, builder activity around town is heavy, and new business tax receipts are coming through, including a Sunbay Market grocery. We are not putting hard permit counts on it this week because our permit data is only a partial slice, directional, not a tally.
And weather. The NOAA 2026 hurricane outlook drops May 21st, and central Brevard is sitting in a moderate drought. 2 things to watch as the week closes.
That is a full week. The names worth holding on to are the ones at the top. Bill Posey, 16 years for this town, and a courthouse that finally filed the charge we said was missing. Read the full reporting at thepalmbear.com.
This is the Palm Bear.